Welcome to JustWannaQuilt, a research podcast coming out of Tulane University Law School, where we explore all kinds of things, stories about quilting, tools, field trips, maybe some famous quilters stop by, and, of course, a little bit of copyright thrown in just for fun. I'm Elizabeth Townsend-Guard, your host. I'm a law professor at Tulane University Law School. I also hold 2 fellowships right now, one at the Business School and one at the Newcomb Institute at Tulane. And I just want to quilt. So Toni Smith of Quiltoni joined us to talk to us about what she's been up to during this ridiculous COVID-19 thing. And she also talks to us about Twitch.
And adapting and trying to figure everything out.
Yep, exactly. And just constant. It's constant.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right, so let me see if I'm make sure there's no one coming at 12:30 before we start. And I can't wait to hear how things are going and how you're doing. So
thanks. Yeah, I can't wait to hear about what you're doing and everything, too, other than the masks.
Is there anything other than masks at this point? Like, this is
I know.
question. Seriously.
I know.
But every time I do that, I feel like, I don't know. You got to sneak things in, but I also feel like, it's a moment. So we will, eventually not be making masks. Hopefully that we'll be past this and we'll be doing fun things. That's the goal, right?
Yeah. So. It is, in times of struggle, as a people, naturally we want to be productive and we want to try to make a difference.
Yeah. And
I think all of the mask stuff, everyone is like, oh, wait, I can do something. Let me help.
Got it.
So I think it's a lot of people that are sitting around that want to feel needed are really the spearheads of a lot of it, which is amazing.
I mean, I would go even further. I don't even think they feel like they want to be needed. They are needed. I think that's a real distinction because I think people were asking. It wasn't like we were like, hey, do you want some masks? It was like people, like I got a request for a skilled nursing home for 50 masks today because they have no place else they can find them. This is not, I am not like, hey, you guys want me to make masks for you? Because I really hate making masks. So, but like, how could you say no?
Yeah, you can't. It's, okay, so for interview, for a podcast, do you know how I am? There are things I will leave out if you want me to leave out. How honest about feedback do you want me to get? Do you want me to...
I'm okay with anything, but I'm not going to edit it. So that's the thing. So you can
see, and that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I am, because we're just, like, these are really quick and dirty, right? So I think just say what you want to say, and I am okay with you saying anything you want to say. Like, it's not, it's your interview, so
I may leave it out, because I've been getting, of course, anti-vaxxers and everyone else some nasty mail.
Really? Well, I mean, I would like you to talk about that personally, but you don't have to. Because I think
it's a matter of, I don't know how much you want to get into all the aspects, or if you just want to get into the whole, everything else.
I like the real thing. I'm not afraid. I mean, this is a research, in its heart, it's a research project. And I'm okay. I mean, sometimes people are like, what? You shouldn't be political. I'm like, do you know me? It's not. Seriously, I am political.
But this isn't political. That's the thing. This is people's lives, and people are making it political.
That's right. Okay, we're good. We have a little bit of time. Next, so we're good with this. So we don't have one right at 1:00, so that's good.
Great. And I have an appointment at 2:00 my time, 1:00 your time.
Yeah, that's perfect. So we have a little bit of leeway, so that's good.
Great.
Yeah. So mine next is at 1 as well. I was afraid it was at 12:30, and that we'd be like talking as fast as we possibly could. Okay. All right. So, what are we doing? Okay. So tell me.
It sounds like my life. What are we doing?
All right. So tell me I know this, but tell me your name and where you're calling from.
I am Toni Smith, also known as Quiltoni. I'm known as the Pixel Quilter, and I am home in lovely London, Ontario, in Canada.
Really? You're in London, Ontario? I did my doctoral research at Hamilton, the archives there. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really want to go up there. I need a Canadian trip. I need to just spend time with Canadians time.
You know what? When this is all done, come and visit, and then I can take you to Toronto as well. It's only about 2 hours down the road.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, I just need some Toronto. I need some Canada time.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. It's I almost got stuck at my second location, which is actually my parents down in Maryland. But I am glad that I got stuck here at home. This is the most time I've ever spent with my husband and stepdaughter since I moved here.
Really?
Yeah.
And how's it going?
It's interesting. It's a lot of adjusting, a lot of, okay, this is my space, this is your space. It's because I travel for a living. I travel, I teach, I guest at conventions. You know, I'm not used to staying here at home for longer than maybe 4 or 5 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's definitely a change.
Yeah. Very good. Okay, and then we ask, I don't think you've been officially on the show in a regular interview. We've done one at Quilt Market. What's your first memory of someone sewing or quilting in your life?
Oh, that would definitely be my grandmother. My grandmother was an avid quilter. She was a Great Depression era baby. So to her, quilting was finding scraps of fabric anywhere you can find them, in the dollar bin at the store, used up sheets, and then turning them into something special. And I never, ever wanted to learn how to sew, never wanted to learn how to quilt until I reached a point in my life I needed to fill my time. And so I pulled out a class catalog and said, do I want to learn how to knit, crochet, or quilt? I guess I'm going to learn how to quilt.
Yeah.
And it was just as I was learning, she started her decline and then passed away. So I was able to share a few months of sewing and quilting with her, which it's really, I'm glad I got that. It was very special to me. That's very nice.
That's very nice. And then tell us now what you do. Tell us a little bit about who you are, and then we'll talk a little bit about masks and your experience of like what's been happening with masks.
So like I said, I'm known as the Pixel Quilter. I am the pop culture video game quilting person. So I have a line of patterns that are pixelated that basically almost anyone can do. If you can sew a straight-ish line, you can do my patterns. They're that easy.
Right.
But I got started at pop culture conventions because once I learned how to sew and quilt, I've always designed pixelated images since I was 8 years old and cross-stitching. So for me, it was a natural, transition from cross-stitch to quilting, to designing those patterns. And whenever I started going to conventions, I was like, there's a need for this. There's no fabric things here at Comic-Cons. So I started creating quilts to sell. And it took off, and I eventually said, okay, I'm going to quit my job and do this for full time. And then the pattern line came because cosplayers wanted it. And the rest is history. So this is what I do now. Is I full-time stream on Twitch and I travel.
That's very nice. Twitch is so interesting. We've been looking at Twitch a bit. For those that don't know what Twitch is, can you explain a little bit more about how it works? And
sure.
And there's another quilter we interviewed that's on Twitch. I can't remember who it is.
Was it Hexadoodle? Was it Allison?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, is there another quilter on there? I don't know.
I don't know. Let me see. I'm gonna look in my thing. Let me see if I can see. She's got I don't remember my life. I'm sorry for the person I interviewed that I can't remember, but my head is kind of full of everything.
I'm excited now. I can't wait for you to find this because I am all about finding other quilters, and there's only 2 that I know of, and the one I don't think would cross your path, but maybe? I don't know. But yeah, no, Hexadoodle Quilts is a English paper piecer, and she's a Twitch streamer as well.
It was not. It was not.
Okay.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
But I'm going to be doing reviewing who we haven't posted yet. No, she's got she's cool. She's got like 3 cameras set up. So explain
nice.
what Twitch is so people know what we're talking about, and then I'm going to try to figure out who it was.
No, that's fine. So whenever I do lectures at quilt guilds and stores and conventions, I always say, hey, who doesn't know what Twitch is? And at quilt guilds, almost all the hands go up. And then so the next logical question I then ask is, well, have you ever heard of people that are able to play video games as a living? And of course, everyone's like, oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Right.
Well, that's Twitch. It started as Justin TV, following this guy's life, everything in his life. And part of that was video gaming. And it just gravitated to that video gaming element of his life and started adding more and more people. Well, about 8 years ago, one of the guys at Twitch, Monkey on Strike, is looking back and he's going, hey, so here's Justin TV and there's this and this. We need to start looking at other avenues of creativity and of everything else. We've got these people drawing and sewing and all these things. We need to give them an outlet. And so Twitch Creative was born. And it's a huge, there's definitely a couple hundred streamers that are just creative. 2D art, 3D art, sewing, crochet, cross stitch. I joke that if there is a hobby that exists, somebody is streaming it. Yeah, and you can really learn from them and you can interact with them. So it's like Facebook Live, but it's a lot more interactions, and a lot of it has the studio production of television. I actually have a 5-camera setup, and I switch between everything, and I have...
So after I interviewed the person whose name I really feel terrible, I can't remember, are you using Open Broadcast Studio, or do you use something else to switch through from the camera?
No, I actually use OBS. I use Open Broadcaster Studio.
Yeah, so first of all, I've been doing that, so I wanted to be able to make videos, and it's so cool because you can make scenes, and then you can use I use your phone as a kind of remote control and be able to switch from scenes. Is that what you do?
You can. Yep, that's exactly.
I'm almost, it's so funny because I've almost got it, but I can't figure out how to program the pause button. So that's a bit of a problem. But it took time, but it was really fun. We've got, I think, 3 cameras, I think, right now. And then it's for quilting, long arm quilting, automated long arm quilting, so that you could also have it on the screen because we were trying to play with that. But then this happened, so it kind of derailed everything, which is so annoying. But it is what it is,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, there's actually no pause, but you can stop the recording and start a new recording.
Got it. Maybe that's why. I thought there was a pause button, and maybe that's why it's not working.
No, and then with live streaming, you're either live or you're not.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably why I'm having trouble. Yeah. I haven't been brave enough to do live streaming because sometimes it doesn't work.
Next week, so I know this is going to be aired later on, but in the month of May, I actually do a whole month of fundraising for St. Jude Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And so my St. Jude streams start next week, and I actually have sponsors for every single stream where we talk about the products and this and this. You should pop into one of my streams during the St. Jude. And then I'll teach you some things.
And because I love it. So, and as I said, we weren't going to do it on Twitch, but I was like, if I can make videos that I don't have to edit, I would be really happy about that. So it was very much like how do I skip the step of editing,
Yeah, it is. I find that if I want to take my Twitch stream, if it's a really good stream, and if I want to port it over to my YouTube channel, I started doing that initially. If you look on my YouTube, there's years and years of Twitch footage on there. And those don't do very well because there's a lot of filler. On videos on YouTube, a lot of times people went to the point, straight, this. So I'm finding now if I have a really good Twitch stream and I want to bring it over, like I'll probably bring some of these St. Jude ones over because I'll be doing demonstrations of products for these sponsors and for other things. Mm-hmm. So I will have to edit it. Although in the software that I use, which is, it's a super simple video pad editor.
Yeah.
It's really, really easy to just cut out the chunks I don't need, and it doesn't take me a lot of time.
Very nice. Okay, it could be. Let me see if this is the right person. I think this is her, but I'm not sure. How would I know?
Is it a long armor?
Yeah. It is.
Oh, what's her name?
Sherry?
I think I know. Sherry? No.
Is it Sherry?
I don't know Sherry.
Probably not her. Because I don't see anything on her. I'll keep looking.
Because I know a long armor on Twitch, Iron Bandsgram, that she hasn't streamed in a while, though. But I don't know her real name.
While we chat, I'll keep looking because I can't.
Okay.
It's not easy to find. It's gotta be.
And this is the thing too. The creative community on Twitch is very, very tight knit. A lot of us know each other,
That's
of
course, right.
I try to make it my goal to welcome and encourage new streamers because honestly, the more people on there, the better.
If you're willing to take, so here's the thing. Here's my thing. If you can help me like get over the fear, I will totally do it. Because
I will hold your hand and I will help you.
Awesome. Because the other thing I see is that those that started on YouTube in like 2007, 2008, those early ones, are the main people now.
Yeah. Oh, and so I've been streaming on Twitch 3.5 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't. Could it have been?
See, and my community will love you.
Yeah.
I know you. My community will love you. Yeah. You come stream. It's fun.
I really don't know who the person is. That's so bizarre. Well, this is going to be my job this weekend to figure out who it is.
Yeah, and message me and let me know because now I have to know. And then in the comments on the podcast, when we find out, we'll put the comments in the podcast.
I'll be like, I don't know why I'm being such a dork.
Just like in my YouTube video where I'm demonstrating the Martelli templates and the Martelli rotary cutter, and we're like, what can we cut through? We're like cutting through all these things, and I can't think of the word brocade.
Yeah.
So in post editing, Martelli put the word brocade in bright neon letters flashing above my head.
That is so funny.
I'm like, oh my God.
All right, so tell me a little bit more about what you're doing now.
So right now, as I said, I normally travel and teach and do all these things. I normally make my money off of pattern sales, appearance fees, lecture fees, in-person stuff, which I cannot do. Yeah. So I have transitioned my business to, I am now a fabric store apparently. So I'm selling off a lot of my old things. So as I'm working through all of this stuff, everyone's messaging me and they're like, are you making masks? I'm like, no, I'm not making masks. I'm supplying masks for my immediate family and for those in my community that need them, and hospitals and nursing homes, but I'm not selling them, and I'm not just putting them out there.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, but at the same time, I need to do something. And so then it started turning into messages of, okay, you don't have to sell us the masks, but we know you can teach. We know that you explain things. Can you teach us how to make the masks? So I was like, well, there's tons of tutorials out there. What are you talking about?
Right.
And so then I started looking at the tutorials. And a lot of them suffer from the same fate that a lot of quilting and sewing patterns do. They assume you know all things quilting and sewing.
That's true.
There's a lot of terminology. There's a lot of things. And what we're finding is a lot of people are pulling out this old sewing machine that they may have gotten 10, 20 years ago, and they can use it, but they don't know how to sew. And they're trying to follow these patterns and tutorials and videos, and they're getting confused and lost. And I'm like, okay, I know how I can help. I guess I'm making a tutorial. Yeah. So I have a partnership with Martelli, who makes amazing templates.
And what do you mean by a partnership? Help people understand that part of it.
Yeah, that's right. So I actually I have a partnership with Martelli, which means we work together. They actually make templates for all of my patterns. They're the pixel templates, which are amazing. And whenever they make and sell those templates on their website, I don't make any money. So it's not a money deal that we have, but at the same time.
Okay, I found the person.
Yeah.
I found the person.
Oh, who is it?
It is powered by quilting. So I was right. So it's Sherry Sish.
Okay.
Shish.
I don't know her. What's her Twitch name?
I don't know. So let me see. Would that be follow us?
Because my Twitch name is Quiltoni.
Right. It is powered by quilting.
Okay, so actually, while we're talking right now, I'm going to search her and I'm going to follow her. Powered
by quilting. She's an engineer during the day and an avid quilter at night.
Powered by quilting. Oh, she's a baby streamer. Yeah. I am going to follow her and yes.
You're going to help her and help me?
She has 4 videos.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm following her right now. Fantastic. Everyone go follow Powered by Quilting on Twitch. Totally. I am her 65th follower. We're going to get her a couple thousand.
That's so amazing.
Okay. All right. I follow her, and it says the last time she was live was 4 days ago. Does she have a...
She's got a bunch of videos.
Calendar.
She's got like 8 videos.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking. Oh, yeah, because she's a long armor. Okay. Oh, my gosh, I love her stuff. This is so cute. Okay.
Yeah. So powered by quilting. So my thing is, I could do this. I could be like, okay, we'll talk about that in just a second. So let's talk a little bit more about the mask, a little bit more about Twitch, because I'm very close to being set up to be able to do it, because I've already done the OBS. I'm already ready to go. I'm just a bit shy about getting an account and trying it. So
nope, I can help you. That's not a problem.
How cool!
So we'll take care of that.
Yeah,
so the masks.
Quilting. There she is. I was right.
Fantastic. Yep. And I followed her. Did you go follow her?
I will do that.
Make sure, so how you follow someone, for anyone that's new to Twitch, in the upper right-hand corner when you're on someone's screen, you see a little heart that's kind of not filled in.
Yeah.
You click on that heart after you make sure you sign into Twitch, of course. And then when you click on that heart, you now follow them.
All right, so then on the left, you, so I'm here.
Yep, so I'm Quiltoni. So follow me. And then on the left-hand side of your screen, you have all of your followed channels. So if someone is live, they appear right there on the left-hand side.
It's so cool. Okay, other people on the quilting world that we should be following?
Hexadoodle Quilts.
Quilts.
Yeah, Hexadoodle.
I found it.
Quilts. She is a pretty famous English paper piecer in England.
Interesting.
So she's pretty amazing.
Got her.
And then Iron Band's Graham hasn't streamed for a while. Every now and then she streams. She's another long armor. Iron, I-R-O-N, Ban, B-A-N, Bands, so an S, and then Graham, G-R-A-M, because she's a grandma.
Oh. Yeah.
And those are the active ones that I know right now.
2017 is the last time I see. Is that right?
Yeah. So it may have been a while for her.
Yeah.
So, but Hexadoodle's the only other one that I know that streams on a regular basis. That streams at least once to twice a week, every single week.
Oh, that's Quill. That's funny. No, there's not a lot of. That's interesting. So, okay, we'll try it. How funny.
Yeah. And since we're on the Twitch, it is the biggest thing with Twitch that a lot of people get that they want to stream and they get very frustrated with is it is a different culture than Facebook. With Facebook, you can go live and have and interact with your fans and do everything and not stream for another 6 months and then go live again, and it's like you've never left. Twitch is a long haul. It's in order for people to watch on a regular basis, you really do have to stream on a regular basis.
Okay.
And so a lot of people will stream for a few weeks and they'll go, well, I'm not really, getting bigger, doing this. It's because I don't think I saw an increase in my viewers until I was about 6-7 months in.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So it's definitely a long-term thing.
I know that it's a big, I mean, you're it. Like you're really sort of doing that in incredible ways. All right. So tell me the difference between following and subscribe on Twitch.
So it is. So following is just like if you're subscribing on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So all it is you're keeping an eye on them and you're following. You will see when they're live. Mm-hmm. You can also, there's a little bell there. If you click on the bell, you can be notified on your computer or on your phone if they go live. So if you have a favorite streamer, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to know when they're live.
Right. You
just click that bell and it tells you.
Well, we've because we're stuck in the house. We have a number of we've been doing Twitch in the house with different people and exploring it on different topics. So the husband and the kid are very into showing each other different people. So
nice.
It's been interesting to see.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It is if you want a good sewing streamer but not a quilter, Fierce Kittens. So Fierce Kittens, Kittenz.
Cool, look at that.
She is amazing.
And then in terms of Twitch, like the following, what is considered successful on Twitch, and sort of how is you're making money in a different way on Twitch? Is that right? Than YouTube is ad-based, right?
Yes, it is. It is Twitch. That's a very loaded question of success.
Yeah.
Because it all depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm looking at my left-hand side right now, and Dr. Lupo is on. He has 6,200 people watching him. And of course, he's an amazing, awesome, fantastic person. Raises a lot of money for St. Jude, and is well known for Fortnite. He's obviously successful. He has over 6,000 people watching him at any given time. It's all dependent upon what you view as success. If success is you have a regular number of people that are excited to see you, that could be success. Yeah. Success is, am I paying my bills? It is, do I have this number of people that are watching me? There's a lot of different things.
And with Twitch, you have to get to a certain amount of followers before you can subscribe. Is that right? Am I right about that?
Yes and no. So you can subscribe to somebody else at any point if they have that ability. Now, you have two different levels. You have an affiliate level and you have a partner level. The affiliate level, you just have to have an average of 5 viewers. You have to have 50 people watching you, or 50 people that have followed you, and that's it. And at that point, you can become an affiliate, and then people can subscribe to you. They can give you bits, which are the currency of Twitch, or they can subscribe to you, which is basically pledging a certain amount of money to you each month. So if you subscribe to someone for $5,
we've had these conversations in the house. Why would people subscribe or give you money? Is it because you get more content or you get more access? Sort of, what is it that they're getting?
It depends. Look at it this way: do you pay for cable?
Yeah. No. Well, we pay for Hulu.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Do you pay for Hulu?
Yeah.
Do you pay for Netflix?
Right.
So if if you have the ability to give money, that people are like, well, I'm supporting my favorite streamer.
Yeah.
It's because they're giving you content.
Right.
They're entertaining you. And that's a thing that a lot of people that start streaming on Twitch don't understand.
And you get more access, right? Like you get
exactly.
more. It's the access thing that allows you to, why you want. Is that right?
Exactly. That's it. So I started streaming initially because I do a lot of custom commission quilts for people, and I wanted a way that they could watch me do them.
Ah, nice.
And once I learned the culture of Twitch and everything else, it became so much more. So now whenever someone buys one of my quilt patterns in a store, the store owner can say, hey, she streams on Twitch. If you have questions or concerns, just log in and ask her. And I could show them.
Yeah, the other part of Twitch is, are you doing like demos on it, or are you just hanging out? Because there's a lot of just hanging out on Twitch.
Yes, there is.
Right?
It all depends on a channel. I always say it's like watching television. Are you watching HBO or are you watching Disney? It's whoever's channel it is, that's the content that they're going to provide. There are some people where they just sit and talk to you and you're just following their life, just like the original Justin TV. With me, it's entertainment. So it's a matter of, I'm always either sewing or creating or doing something. And when I'm doing it, I'm always explaining what I'm doing and how I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So that I have people that have never sewn in their entire lives have gone out and bought sewing machines and are now sewing. Because they feel that I give them the tools and the ability to go and do that, because I'm like, guys, it is this easy. It really is this easy.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to be shown the correct ways. So like on what's my next stream? Monday, for the past week, I've been just showing off fabrics because I'm just listing all these fabrics on my website for sale. So, and I've also been making masks and showing, because my video went live on Monday on how to make the masks using the Martelli templates.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been answering a lot of questions about, okay, well, what do you mean by ironing the seam the opposite directions? And so I've been showing a lot of that on my stream. I've been showing tube making, because I don't go over that in the video because tube making sucks.
It's funny.
It's horrible. So I've been going over that. I've been talking about alternatives to tube making. I've been talking about bias, a bunch of other things. That's mostly this week.
That's very interesting. All right. Well, we should definitely try it and chat more about that. So tell me a little bit about...
Well, you asked about the partnership with Martelli.
Yes.
So the way that the partnership I have with Martelli works is that they create all of my templates for me. and I can purchase them from Martelli at their cost. They make zero money, so it's at cost to me, so that I'm able to turn around and sell them to stores at a wholesale price. So if they're selling them to stores, or if I'm selling them to stores, we're both making the same amount of money. And they're just, as a courtesy, providing the finished product to me for the cost it takes them to make it. And that's it. And then we also, at the same token, help each other. Hence partnership, not sponsorship, not working relation. It's a partnership. So if they reach out to me and they say, hey, Toni, can you make a video of us, of this thing for us? Sure, I'll do that. And I take care of stuff. And then it goes onto their website. They promote me, I promote them. So it's a very cyclical relationship.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I reach out to them and I say, hey, I think there's a need for this video using your product. They go, oh, here you go. And then I'm able to do it. So that's what happened here. It was actually in your Facebook group, The Million Masks a Day, where someone posted that Martelli just came out with these templates and they're at cost.
Right.
And I went, oh. So I actually texted them that moment that I saw it was listed. And I said, hey, I see you're doing this. Do you want me to make you a video?
Yeah.
And they were like, yes.
Yeah.
So it was just a matter of getting the templates to me up here in Canada.
Yeah.
And then taking, so all last weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I spent filming it, editing it, getting it all together so it could go live on Monday.
Yeah. Well, that's all very nice. All right. So you said that you're not selling masks. Are you making any money off of the templates that you promote with Martelli? You're not, right?
Nope, I am not.
You're not.
Zero.
Yep. And you just did it as a public service so people could learn about it and know how to do it. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Okay. It is, I feel, which is why my patterns are the same way, anyone can sew. And that's what I looked at these masks and I looked at their templates. I was like, if you can sew a straightish line, you can make a mask, a full face mask with a pocket and a nose piece. You just need to understand what kind of stitch to use, what kind of fabric to use, how to put it together. Even the basic instructions. I had someone who had a sewing machine, had never sewn before, but had a machine. He bought the templates. He tried to find a tutorial online and got all confused. And so I said, okay, I'm giving this to you Sunday night before I'm making it live. You are perfect. Sent him the video. He watched it and he made a bunch of masks. Yeah. And he goes, yes, this is. And I actually gave a caveat in the beginning of if you haven't seen my Twitch streams, if you haven't seen my other YouTube videos, I'm a teacher by trade. I actually have an education degree. And I break things down into the basic forms so that everyone can understand why. So if you're an experienced quilter, I apologize. Gotta fast forward through the things. And I actually put time codes on my video. So if you want to see just how to do the nose piece, you can skip to that time code in the video. As a courtesy to everyone. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
All right. Any other things you want to chat about? How are things going? How is your world? How is your life with this ridiculous thing we are involved with?
It's getting better. It is. At first, I was like most people, out of work and trying to figure out how I'm going to pay bills. And unfortunately, I am one of the few that do not qualify for assistance anywhere because I'm a U.S. citizen
in Canada
that does all of my business in the U.S. in U.S. dollars.
Yeah.
But I live in Canada.
Yeah.
So the U.S. is not going to give me any money because I'm in Canada. Canada's not going to give me any money. All of my business in the U.S.
Right.
And so it's just trying to figure out what am I going to do and how am I going to do it. And then it was a few weeks ago, one of my fans messaged me and said, hey, I know you're not using fabric right now. And I know you have this amazing fabric because I bought this thing from you with this fabric. Can I buy some fabric? And it kind of got my wheels turning. And I'm like, you know what? I wonder. And just this past 2 weeks, I've got my bills paid for April and May.
That's great.
So it's adapting and changing and trying to figure out what to do and how to figure these things out, which actually it's for the first few weeks I didn't make masks for family. I didn't do anything because I was so stressed and upset and trying to figure out, you know, how am I not going to lose my house? And, you know, and all of that. And then this ability to, okay, my bills are paid. Okay, now let me breathe. And now I can help other people.
Because through, if you don't mind me asking,
that's fine.
Is it Twitch? Like, what pays your bills during this time? And how can people
definitely not Twitch.
Okay. So tell me, like, how can people help, or how can people who are in your situation understand how to survive this time?
So it is, and I'll be perfectly honest, I only make about $200 to $300 a month on Twitch. And it is through the subscriptions and people throwing bits at me and things like that. Yeah. It's great. It's wonderful. It's not a lot, but the community around Twitch is what's paid my bills, because I haven't even advertised on any of my social media that you can buy my fabric yet, because I haven't finished listing it. Because the moment I start listing things and I talk about it in my Twitch stream, all of a sudden people go crazy and it's gone.
Yeah.
And so yes, in a way Twitch is, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's a matter of changing the mindset of what can I do? What abilities do I have? And right now there is a shortage of fabric because a lot of stores have to close.
Yeah.
And figuring that out. And I have fabric that's just sitting here doing nothing. So, you know what? I'm a business. I have deals with a lot of fabric companies where I buy it by the bolt directly from the companies. I can get more fabric. It's not going to be this fabric, but I can get more fabric. So why not provide that? And that's, if you don't have if you're worrying about bills, if you're worrying about everything else, it's a matter of changing your mindset. Figure out, okay, well, what abilities do I have? What can I do? What needs can I fill? And then trying to make that happen.
Well, I think that's super great. I think that's super duper great. Oh goodness. All right. Well, we're going to do this Twitch thing. So that's cool.
Yep.
And I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird. Do you think Market, what do you think? We just got a message that Market, that they're still on for the fall. Do you think Market will happen in the fall?
So it's, as a legal professional, you're aware of a lot of the contracts that go behind this stuff.
Yeah.
The general public is not.
Yeah.
And this is something that I have to, and as someone that does conventions for a living, I'm well versed in a lot of those things.
Yeah, and I imagine you're hearing from a lot of them, because you do a lot of different conventions. So the question is, what is going to happen,
what's not?
Yeah, and also, are they going for, I mean, it's a really long cycle of applying for things and doing things and all kind. I mean, and you have booths, places, and so tell me a little bit about that part.
It's interesting because, so the way that, let's take Spring Market, for example.
Yeah.
The Spring Quilt Market was supposed to happen in Pittsburgh. It was supposed to happen in 3 weeks from now. Today is April the 23rd that we're recording this. So it's supposed to be in 3 weeks, but it's not going to because of everything that's happening. They waited until the very last minutes to cancel that, so that people could cancel their flights and everything else. And at first, they weren't going to refund anything. They were just going to carry things over. And a lot of that's because of the contracts that they had with the convention center.
Yeah.
The convention center, for any convention at all, whether it's Market, whether it's Comic-Con, a craft show, quilt show, about, a lot of times, 70 to 80% of their costs is the cost of the venue. And a lot of that has to be paid 100% up front by a certain date. And in the provisions, there are, if the organizer cancels, they forfeit everything.
Mm-hmm.
They are not allowed to cancel. They're not allowed to do anything. They forfeit it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a contract in these provisions that if there is unforeseen circumstances outside of the control of both the convention center and the organizer, then they will cancel it and refund them the money. And that's where the wording, as you know, as a law person,
right.
It is, the wording in there is very vague a lot of times in these contracts. And so a lot of convention centers and places these things are being held are saying, no, we still have the chance of this happening.
Yeah.
If you cancel, you forfeit everything. Now, think of a quilt show. Not market, not anything else. Think of a standard regular quilt show. If a regular quilt show were to forfeit 100% of that money, that's 70 to 80% of their entire budget, do you think that they could then come back the following year and put that on?
Yeah.
There's no way. They're done. That would kill most companies. Not all small companies would die. Even larger companies, that is huge to be able to, to be put into that position.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the government, if the governor, the mayor, somebody says, no, you are not allowed to have gatherings above this number of people through this date, that now gives them an out. They can say, look, we can't hold this, and the convention center has no choice but to say, nope, you're right, and everything's canceled. And that's what happened in the case of Spring Quilt Market. They did not cancel until Pennsylvania.
Has to be triggered, right? It has to be triggered.
Exactly.
Right. And
exactly.
And so I read a newspaper article yesterday about, and I don't know if it's true or not, but there was somebody making an opinion that the opening of Georgia is so that people can't, that for the insurance companies, that's what they're doing, is that if then people can't take losses or those sorts of things, that it triggers all these things that no longer you can't claim that you can't work because it's open, which I thought was really creepy and interesting. That was the motivation. That's what they were claiming the motivation was. I don't know if it's true or not, but you could see why, right? Because it gets the companies off the hook. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it shifts the burden again in really interesting ways. So
I honestly feel that these states that want to open early and open as fast as possible are more concerned about the bottom line and about money that's being lost.
Yeah, I agree. My question is, what bottom line? And this article, if it was true or not, said it isn't the bottom line you think it is. Right? It's not gonna help the businesses. It's gonna hurt them even more because now they have to be open, right? Because they have no choice.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I'm actually getting messages on a regular basis from people saying, do you think XCon is going to be canceled? Do you think this is going to be canceled?
Yeah.
And Dragon Con is the biggest thing that everyone's talking about right now because that's in Atlanta, Georgia on Labor Day weekend.
Yeah. Dragon
Con is 80,000 people.
Yeah. And it got canceled, right?
No, it's still going on. They actually came out with a post yesterday saying, as of this point, Dragon Con is still on. Wow. And that's because they can't cancel. Nothing has been triggered for any of these things. That's Labor Day.
In
that's
Atlanta.
in...
Oh,
yeah,
right. So this is the whole thing, right? Because it's Atlanta, Georgia, right? Dragon Con. That's what you just said. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time concentrating today.
No, that's okay.
So, right. And if they open... They have to have it. They have to go.
Exactly.
They have to
or they forfeit everything.
Right.
And then you run into the, oh crap, these people that have sunk all this money into hotels, what if the hotel refuses to refund their money?
It's a whole terrible thing. Right.
It's a cycle.
And so having Georgia open is not good.
Yeah. No. It's one of those things that, and the same thing with Quilt Market. I have no clue if Quilt Market in October is going to happen this year. It's all I know. Hexadoodle Quilts. We've been collaborating together for some things, and she was going to come to her first market, and she's in England. There's no way she can come now.
Right. So it's very.
So she's canceling.
Yeah.
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 And Market is an international show.
Right.
But at the same time, if
Texas will travel be up and running? We don't know, right?
And if Texas is open for business, they have to have it. And that's the problem that you run into. Then when you have it, are you going to lose so much money? It's going to hurt you more than if you just would have sucked it up and taken the 70-80% loss. So it's just a lot of issues that we have to think about.
Yeah, I hear you. I totally hear you. Yeah, it's complicated. It's really complicated. And also waiting to see, they said that Long Beach that was going forward, but it'd be interesting to see if California allows that. So it's not really,
right. Well, because San Diego Comic-Con has already canceled, and that's in July.
And New Orleans, New Orleans, we are all about the parades, the conventions, everything. They've canceled all of the public events for the rest of the year.
Yeah. And I think that's the way California is going to go. And again, Quilts Inc. has to wait for Long Beach to say, hey, look, nope, we're done. My opinion is I think there's going to be nothing in 2020. Things are going to be awash. There's not going to be any large gatherings. Conventions are going to be done. So that's in my business plan. That's what I'm planning for is, okay, I'm assuming, because I'm going to miss Gen Con. Yeah. Gen Con hasn't been officially canceled yet, but that is my largest moneymaker. Gen Con pays 6 months of my bills.
Wow.
Just from that one convention.
What is Gen Con?
Oh, it's amazing. It's the largest tabletop convention in the world.
What does that mean? What is a tabletop convention?
So tabletop.
Gaming. It's gaming, right? It's gaming?
Tabletop, yes. So board gaming, Catan, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Where is it?
Yes, tabletop. Yeah. So
where is it at?
It is in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Interesting.
It is my favorite in the entire world.
We're gonna so have to go. I think that'd be so interesting.
You would love it. And if you want, I actually run and this is why I make a lot of my money at Gen Con. They have what they call specific activities, which started back in the early 70s as spousal activities.
Oh, interesting.
When you bring your spouse and your mom, this is something for them to do while you go game, because in the 70s only guys gamed.
Yeah.
And so now it's turned into specific because I teach guys how to English paper piece. I teach guys how to quilt. Yes, it's awesome.
Very interesting.
I teach all these classes and they're great and I love them.
Huh. And they pay for them too. That's how you're making your money?
It is. So I have a booth on the floor where I sell, of course, all of my nerdy quilts, dice bags, patterns.
Nice.
I carry supplies. I do all the other things. But then I also spend 4 to 5 hours a day teaching classes.
Wow.
And I look forward to it every single year. It's actually my family vacation.
Yeah.
The rest of my family, my parents, my husband, my stepdaughter, everyone, they all come and they run and they play and they have a good time while I work the whole time.
I think that's so great. Really
so it's my family vacation without me. It's not a vacation for me.
Right, it's not a vacation. They're having fun, but you're working hard. Interesting.
And it hasn't been canceled yet. It's the end of July, beginning of August, but I know it's a wash. I know it's going to be canceled. And it's just because, especially Gen Con, I joke that all 75,000 people that go to Gen Con are the rule makers.
Yeah.
And they follow the rules because they're tabletop gamers.
They're all about games, right.
They're about the rules. And so I know that all of these people are going to go, you know what, the rules say we should stay home, we're going to stay home. And so it's just a matter, again, waiting for the clauses so they don't lose the money so that they can cancel.
Yep. Well, it's all very interesting. Very interesting. Jazz Fest was canceled here for New Orleans for the first time, I think, ever. There's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's just a weird year.
Yeah. It is. But we're doing what we need to do to protect those that are susceptible.
That's right. And not just susceptible. I mean, I feel like the media is really messing up here because at least what I'm seeing is everybody is susceptible. Like healthy people, everyone, like the big one now is women giving birth are dying.
Oh yeah.
Right? So
because
it's not.
I think if your body
seriously, and it's not affecting people with asthma in the same way that they thought it was going to be. It's a vascular thing. So like we've got to stop the message that like somehow young people are dying. Young people are getting very sick. Young people are like sick and they're going to take years to recover. So we just have to stop saying it's like for the elderly and the sickly because it's not, you know? And I worry about that message. That's the wrong message, you know?
Right.
At least from what I'm seeing is everyone's shocked. Oh my gosh, this 37-year-old healthy woman died. Well, yeah, you know.
Yeah. It's a matter of is your body able to fight this off as well as it should?
And you don't know that. You don't
know. And you don't know until you have it.
No. you don't know how your body is going to respond to blood clots and other things. And I have a blood clotting disorder, so I know exactly the feeling of what this is, and it's really scary. And so it's just like just be smart. Like if you have to be selfish and think you might get it, then that's whatever it is that you need to do what, to stay safe and be respectful. It's a community thing. But I think that they really did a disservice by saying protect grandma, because it's not about that. It's really not,
And I think and the biggest thing that so what's interesting is that since I put my video out on Monday, I've been getting hateful messages about how viruses need to run their course. I'm just feeding into propaganda and blah, blah.
Weird.
And I'm like, and I have these, actually every single time I get one, I show my stepdaughter who lives with us. And I have these conversations with her about, why do you think someone believes this way? Why do you think that someone wants to send a message like this to someone? And then we actually sit down and have the conversations about it has to come from someplace. You don't fight hate with hate. You have to understand them and find out, where does this come from? A place of fear? Does this come from a place of someone has taught them the hate? Is this they just don't understand? And sometimes it's not understanding. And even whenever I'm talking to people on Twitch and in other places, and they're like, well, I'm like, no. If they're a selfish person, appeal to the selfish side. Say, you know what? Yeah, you're probably going to be fine. You'll be great. But you know what? If you have a heart attack and you go to the hospital, most of the time you'd be okay. But because all the doctors are helping other people, you're now going to die because there's no doctors.
Right. Because
the hospitals are full. And that was the whole point of the flattening of the curve, is there's so much going on in these hospitals and the doctors and the nurses that they can't handle it all.
Yeah.
And healthy people that normally would survive and live through things are not, and it's COVID related, but they don't have COVID.
Yeah.
Because there's just not the people there. And so that's what I try to tell people sometimes too, is, appeal to the selfish side of the stay home, because, what if, you want that doctor to be available for you.
Yep, exactly. Well, we've talked for
almost
an hour, which is great, but people are coming next. I totally adore you. Let's spend some time together. Let's keep me posted on everything. And thank you for sharing your thoughts about everything. You were really terrific, and I really appreciate that helps people understand what's going on. So I appreciate
you. Thank you for everything that you do. You are amazing.
That's really nice. I don't feel so amazing right now.
Hey, and that's why I told you that too, and I sent you that message. You're amazing, and you are doing good things.
Well, we're trying. We're really trying.
Yeah, and that's all we can do now.
My darling, I'm going to come spend time with you at some point. We're going to go to Canada. It will be good. So.
Yep, and I will take you and your child to Toronto. We'll have some fun.
Oh my gosh, this sounds so nice. I love Canada. I love that area of Canada. There's something just so sweet about it and lovely, and the people are so nice. So, all right, have a great day. Are you okay with us posting this?
Yes. Nope. I'm perfectly fine with it.
Awesome. All right, hold on just a second. Let me end the recording. Hold on. So you've been listening to Just Wanna Quilt, a research podcast coming out of Tulane University Law School. And I'm Elizabeth Townsend Gard. If you like this podcast, keep listening. Also, we have a Facebook group. Come join us. We talk about a lot of things. We also have an Instagram account. And of course, most importantly, I really hope you get a chance to quilt today.